and getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. An aerial view of the many buildings making up the skyline of beautiful Houston, Texas, our broadcast setting tonight. Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Robert Covington.
And the stat to look at is his steal total over the last 5 games. He's been focusing more on his defense, trying to be a disruptor, and it's made them a lot tougher on D.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Kevin, thank you. Houston now has a star pairing with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Harden said of his longtime friend, his athleticism and ability to draw attention opens the floor for our team. That's on the court. Off the court, I've known him since I was 10 years old. That friendship can carry over to the court as well. Kevin, it shows on the floor.
Oh, that's a great story. David, thank you. Plenty of experience, Greg, on the floor tonight. How does that shape what we're about to see, do you think?
You know, Kevin, this is one of those games where guys are going to be smart out on the floor. They're going to be in the right positions to make plays. And honestly, this could come down to who makes the bigger, tougher shots.
And the Clippers starting 5. Marcus Morris is out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Williams. And it's Mann in at the 3 slot. And for Houston, Harden and Gordon are out on the wings. Robert Covington out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Westbrook in at the points. Tip-off goes to Houston. Gordon with it. It's stolen by Morris. Harden against George. The rebound by Harden. For the Houston Rockets, they come into tonight following a loss to the Pelicans in New Orleans.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Covington finds Gordon. In the corner, it's Westbrook. Off target with his 3. Here's the Clippers.
Well, you know, I did not think I'd ever see a player equal Oscar Robertson's triple-double average for a season, which the Big O did back in '62. Then along came Russell Westbrook. Another level. Did it for 3 straight seasons, making an indelible mark in the history books.
And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's his first foul. Here's Westbrook. 8 points his last outing. Gordon outside. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. George against Harden. George, no good.
Well, you will not see that from him very often, especially right at the rim.
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
You know, we talk about Harden's skill set, which is superb, but there's no quitting this guy. He's got a great competitive spirit. And even when you bang him and bump into him, he just muscles through that and says, play on.
And the Clippers making a change here. Beverly's checked in.
What's up?
Free throw good, James Harden.
And last season, Westbrook passing the great Magic Johnson for second all-time in career triple-doubles. Does he catch Oscar Robertson with 181?
I I think he does, Greg. I think he's got a chance anyway. I should say that. Just to be in the conversation speaks volumes to all you need to know about Russell Westbrook's greatness.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Now here's Williams. 9-point game his last outing. George, that's a two-pointer. He can't get that one to fall. Harden with the defensive effort.
Not much falling for him this quarter, guys, and you can sense his frustration.
And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And one of the things about Harden is he is incredible at scoring despite getting hit. I mean, astonishing to me how he maintains his focus on these shots.
And the league's preeminent practitioner of the step-back three, James Harden, is as good as it gets. And, you know, like the skyhook, an unguardable shot. And paired with his dribble drive, a two-move torture chamber.
Free throw good from Harden. And thanks to that step back, Harden already the all-time leader in unassisted three-point shots.
And not to mention four-point plays. And up until recently, teams built elaborate offenses to create their three-point looks. Harden the first to do it one-on-one with volume and efficiency. Nice play, and you can see they're gathering momentum.
And, you know, they need to stay aggressive here. Build the lead up while they've got the chance. Don't waste this opportunity.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. So we've seen some head coaching changes, Greg. We're early in the season. How long does it take to fully implement, do you think, a new system with a new coach?
You know, it's a tough question, Kevin. It really kind of can depend on how difficult or complicated the system is. But all things being equal, the experienced teams often learn faster because they just understand the game better. To see the numbers for Paul George. Putting up about 18 points per, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Now, here is George. A 14-point game for him in the win against Toronto. Shots good by Williams.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Here's Houston now. Stringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. Westbrook finds Gordon. And some nice passing there by Houston. That one goes. Count it. Harden's got 13 points.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Harden against Williams. Lock at 6. Makes it off the glass. Williams has got his third bucket of the night.
As a defender, you think maybe you can intimidate Williams. Wrong. No way.
Westbrook against Beverly. Westbrook, no good.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
16 feet away. Williams can't hit. Rockets leading by 6. Out to the wing. And finished off by Westbrook.
And, you know, when you get a clean look at the rim, Harden usually will find you. I think he's underrated and undervalued at making his teammates better.
And Harrell slams it in.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does. substitution here. Jeff Green, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Manuel House comes in for Robert Covington. Ben McLemore, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. And then for Los Angeles, Zubats is checked in for Morris. Landry Shamet comes in for Lou Williams. And it's Jackson in for Patrick Beverly.
And improving as a shot maker every year. Harrell has to be accounted for defensively.
Harden the pass to McLemore. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Rockets?
Really some great drives to the basket here early on for these guys.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
And Clark, when you look at the footwork of James Harden, arguably some of the best in the history of this league.
And, you know, Greg, he studied the greats. I mean, he loved Ginobili's Euro step and then added it to his own game. Now he's taking that to another level, and he's the one giving out the lessons. But you're right. Got great strength, but the footwork is really outstanding.
Now here's Rivers. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Now here's Shamet, guarded by McLemore. George, no good.
Oh, he has just struggled here offensively in the quarter.
Here is House. He's covered by Shamet. House kicks to Rivers. Pass to McLemore. Here is House. Outside, Green. Shoots over Zubats. The Rockets again can't hit. Clippers trail by 5. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And here's George for 3. Launches it. He scores, and he's off the schneid with that basket. 1 for 7 on a tough night for him.
About time he got one to fall there. Before that, 6 straight misses to start this one.
Passes it to Green. Shoots over Zubats. And Jeff Green, the bucket on the assist by Rivers.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. Back right after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And guys, for the Rockets, what jumps out to you from a numbers standpoint?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
Now Jackson. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Ivica Zubats is out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then there's Landry Shamet. And it's man in at the small forward. Nailed from three-point land. Man's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for Los Angeles. Now the pass to McLemore. Here is House. Back to McLemore. And some nice passing there by Houston. 6 to shoot. Carroll for 3. And the rejection by Harrell. Here's Jackson. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Sinks that one from the post.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
Now here's McLemore. Guarded close. Off target at the rim.
Boy, he has to put that one away. A solid opportunity gone awry.
Here's Shamet. He's off on that one. And it's Houston the other way. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. McLemore dishes to Green. Shoots over Shamet. The Rockets again can't hit.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that.
Sarap
You
na
gotta
ultimate.
keep the ball moving. Get something better.
Now, here's Shamet. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Pulls from the top of the key. Rockets with the rebound.
You know, the fact is he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
There's McLemore. And with the rebound. Los Angeles has gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Jackson. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him. Greg, not all drafts are the same in terms of talent. 2019 was a year to remember.
No doubt about it. I mean, transcendent talent at the top. You think of Zion and Ja, both could be future league MVPs. And the irony is that those two guys were teammates in high school. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure is right. Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor.
And Reggie Jackson, the former 24th pick by the Thunder, wasn't content to back up Westbrook. He basically forced his way out in search of a larger role.
Now, here's Westbrook. Right now, he averages nearly 23 points a game, a relentless offensive force. Over to the left wing. Beverly with the ball. Now Covington defending. And here's Beverly. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Softly drops in the floater. Beverly's got the lead up to 6 now for the Clippers.
And Beverly is a tricky player. I mean, somebody who has so many different shots to choose from.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
And we saw how competitive and entertaining the season series was between these two terrific teams last year.
Exactly. They split the series, Greg. Two elite teams and conference foes renewing that rivalry tonight.
Williams, he's checked in for Jackson.
Well, I know we're not too far along in the season yet, Kevin, but let's see how the Clippers have done so far in the league rankings.
And going back to their block shots, they're fearless, challenging shooters and contesting everything. You end up on a few posters, but I love that willingness to take a stand defensively.
Now here's Westbrook. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And after over a decade with the Thunder, last season, Russell Westbrook starting fresh with the Rockets, a superstar pairing with longtime friend James Harden.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Westbrook. And Greg, there were some legitimate questions about Harden and Westbrook and how they would play together. Westbrook not the floor spacer they looked to put around Harden.
And that preceded their moves at the trade deadline. I mean, committing to small ball, Westbrook, the lone non-shooter from distance, unlocked, though, to attack the paint.
And both free throws good for Westbrook.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And the Clippers making a change here. George is checked in. Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile one block we just saw on replay.
Every basket's a big one in a tight game, and he is not about to give up an easy look.
Wide open look. And again, the Clippers good for two.
And that kind of awareness from George is really exceptional, catching the defense flat-footed by rising up immediately on the catch.
Westbrook feeling it out a bit. The Rockets with another miss.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Hands it from downtown. George has got 5 points in the quarter.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Anytime your field goal percentage is in the high 50s, partner, you're doing something right.
Now here's Westbrook. Yep, it goes, and the Clipper lead is cut to just 7 points in the basket from James Harden.
Boy, it's amazing to me how easy Harden makes it look. I mean, when he's locked in, he feels like there's nobody that can guard him, and he's right most of the time.
Pass to George. And the shot goes in.
And this is one of George's main strengths, a phenomenal mid-range scorer.
And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for Houston. Outside Westbrook. Back to Gordon. There's 1:26 left to play in the first half. Shot clock at 5. Back to Westbrook. Let's go. And too long on the shot.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Williams gets the bucket. And now it's an 11-point Clipper lead.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
Now, I don't know if this field goal percentage is sustainable, but if they can stay close to what they've done in shooting the ball, they'll run away with this one. He's been ice cold tonight. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard, guys, they really could have used his contribution. You know, guys, you can tell he wants to contribute more, but his teammates have picked up the slack for him. That's what being on the team is all about.
Here's Westbrook. There it is, his second make of the game. He's missed 5.
Westbrook has really honed his ball handling skills, so now he's able to create very well off the dribble.
Gordon against George, and he finishes nicely on the layup. George has got the lead up to 11 now for the Clippers.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on him.
Now, here is Harden. He's got 16. Over George. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. No good on the shot. And so we conclude the first half. Clippers lead by 11. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much. Lou, in the first half, your offense was clicking. What was the difference getting off to a hot start?
I think we play with a lot of energy, the ball swinging around. They're using a lot of help side defense. We're just taking advantage of it.
And really breaking them down. Thanks, Lou. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. And for the Clippers, the wing tandem of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George inviting historic comparisons. Shaq, for your money, are they as good as any duo in the league?
Without question, Ernie Cornelius Johnson. Two players who are both MVP caliber. Yes, yes, yes.
I didn't know your middle name was Cornelius.
Neither did I.
Okay.
I don't think it is.
Okay. But for Shaq's money, most importantly, this would be a big, big step. But, they're a huge factor. I'll say that. But Cornelius, I did not know. It was Cornelius.
ECJ, baby.
Not Cornelius. ECJ.
I guess it is now.
Eastern Conference Jersey.
Here's Kevin Cornelius Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew.
Cornelius.
And that's going to do it for our halftime show, sadly. Third quarter about to start. See you again after the final.
Horn. Oh, buzzer.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Rockets, Westbrook and Harden, the dynamite pair. They're the backcourt. Gordon is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Tucker in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Westbrook. The shot's good. Westbrook's got 8. Greg, how special was it for you that you had your number 50 retired at UNLV?
That's something I can honestly say. As a kid, you dream about a lot of things. Winning, playing at the highest levels. That's something I never really fathomed, is to have your jersey hanging up in an arena. That was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special, wasn't it?
Exactly. Born and raised.
George finds William. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Tries it from 19, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. He's got 11.
At the offensive end, he's been assertive and efficient, guys. A big reason why they hold this lead right now.
Westbrook passes to Gordon. Back to Westbrook. Pass to Tucker. Houston needs to get a shot up. That one goes in. Gordon's got his second basket of the game.
Boy, Tucker ever unselfish in how he goes about his game. Nice job finding his teammate there.
Here's Mann, and right now he's averaging about 7 points a game. There's the feed to Hill. Second shot opportunity. Rebounded by Tucker.
Boy, patrolling the paint well, protecting the rim. That's exactly the kind of defensive effort you need against him.
Back to Harden. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 4th assist in this one.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
And the Clippers call time here. Houston with a big group substitution here. Damari Carroll's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Daniel House comes in for Robert Covington. McLemore's checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Austin Rivers in for Russell Westbrook. Landry Shamet's checked in for Los Angeles. Reggie Jackson comes in for Williams. Here's Mann. He gets it in there.
I tell you, one thing Jackson has never lacked: confidence. I mean, when he gets a look, Reggie always believes his next shot will be his best one.
Now here's McLemore. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here is House, covered by Morris. The shot by House is no good.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Rockets trail by 8. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Carroll. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Well, you got to stop Carroll from getting inside because he's a threat to throw it down on you from this close.
And former 7th overall pick Ben McLemore finally seems to be finding his footing in the NBA.
You know, he was known in college, Greg, for his shooting touch, and now delivering on some of that efficiency offensively. Good to see the young man make that kind of progress.
Here's McLemore. After the Clippers pick up 2, passes it to Carroll. Harden scanning the floor. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
You know, a good percentage of Harden's points come from beyond the arc. He works extremely hard to find the space he needs on the perimeter.
Shamet kicks to Jackson. Three-pointer. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Jackson's got 10 points.
The real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Now here's McLemore. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. From the arc. Doesn't go for him. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Here is Harden. After the basket by Montrezl Harrell. Harden draws the double inside. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Carroll.
Such an impressive all-around player. Carroll is good at scoring in the painted area as well.
Now, here is Morris. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game.
Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
Boy, the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they're on the ropes right now, on their heels.
Really left alone that time.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Now here's Jackson. He's got 12. Lets a floater go. He takes it up and lays it in. He's got 14.
That was a tough shot. I mean, Jackson has practiced that, but he makes...
Oh, he gets it to go! Wow!
It counts!
Wow, what a way to finish up the quarter.
That's an impossible shot, man, even when you don't have the clock to worry about.
And so it's Los Angeles with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. Right back after this break. And let's take this opportunity now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
For me, next to the big-time alley-oops and monster throwdowns, passes like that are probably the next best thing when it comes to sweet-looking NBA highlights.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Paul George, and it's Zubats in at the 5 spot.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Outside for George, over Westbrook, and there's Paul George on the assist by Harrell. And the Clippers lead by 8.
And, you know, once George gets on the roll, he's just absolutely relentless, showing you how dominant he can be when he gets hot.
Westbrook finds Rivers. Now Green, Zubats defending, fades back. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Harrell's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And that one's good, George.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Stolen by Zubats. A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone right now. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Great speed displayed by George on his way to the bucket. Devastating to the defense with those dunking skills of his.
Stolen by Zubats. To the middle. And Harrell slams it in.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
Now a timeout called by Houston. Greg, as a point guard, what is it you like to see from that position on the floor?
I think first and foremost, leadership. It's so valuable at that spot. And, you know, you always got to have your head high because your teammates are feeding off what you put forth in terms of your body language and enthusiasm. So, you know, the typical stuff about organizing the offense and setting the tone on the defensive end, that stuff's important as well. But so much of how you carry yourself out on the floor when you deal with adversity and you know that you're going to, it is really paramount.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Houston. Robert Covington comes in for Daniel House. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during that break, Mike D'Antoni talked to his team. He told them, you can do a lot of great things out there and still lose if you don't take care of the boards. I want to see more effort, gang rebounding, everyone involved. That was his only focus. Evan?
Thank you, David.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now here's Gordon. Rivers passes to Westbrook. Can't connect from short range.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Harrell kicks to Williams. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And the dunk by Zubats.
Don't sleep on Williams's ability to create for others. That's a veteran play.
Shot to stop the run. And Westbrook with the layup.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
George against Gordon. And just about 3 minutes through the 4th quarter here. Wide open look here for Zubats. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got 4 assists now tonight. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for Houston. They trail by 16. Shoots from 12. That shot off the mark. Nice D from Williams. Los Angeles has gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the 4th. 6 on the shot clock. The 3 from George. And Westbrook pulls it down. Rockets have gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now.
You know, when you're open on Westbrook's team, he makes sure to find you. He's a selfless distributor.
Clippers leading by 14. Los Angeles calls timeout.
And that corner three, a cornerstone of P.J. Tucker's game. Takes and makes them as much as anybody in the league.
And Greg, how about this little factoid? Back at the University of Texas, he only shot 4 triples in 3 seasons. Floor spacing was not a part of his game. It was about getting that thing in the paint. But to his credit, and it's an example for all young players, through hard work, that short corner has become his bread and butter shot. Talk about a total transformation from no threes to being a dead-eye corner 3 shooter.
And now we present our New Balance Player of the Game, Paul George.
And tell you what, he's worked very hard to get himself in good position throughout the course of this game. And that comes across in his shooting percentage. He's hit over half his shots from the field. And that's not because he got hot as much as it's because of the effort he put in to get himself open.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. We've got 1:55 left in the game. Here's Harrell.
Boy, he's a lockdown defender, has been since he's been in the league. Active and assertive and smart in how he defends, too. Covington getting it done.
Harden up top, defended by George. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Good, it's Harden with the assist that time.
That was some slick passing from Harden on that one.
Los Angeles leading by 11. Williams for 3. He scores his 6th bucket from the floor with that one. He's shot the ball 11 times.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Harden, no good. Clippers have gotten more than 58% of their attempts to go down for them in the fourth quarter. They're 7 of 12. Williams looking over the floor. Here's Harrell, and it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the Clippers.
I think the attitude was very impressive. Definitely a competitive game, and they fought through it each step of the way.
Absolutely. They put on a tremendous performance in terms of the effort and intensity. This was a well-deserved win.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable that those games take on a little extra added meaning for the player.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Paul George.
Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
Westbrook against Williams. So the Clippers winning this one easily. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. With Lou Williams, You made some big shots to get the win tonight.
I just wanted to stay aggressive. You know, shooters shoot. That's what we're supposed to do. I've always been a confident guy, never got down on myself, so I just continue to be aggressive and just concentrate on the first shot.
Lou, nobody has ever doubted your confidence. Thanks for your time. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. See you next time.